This video will go over the Research and Integrating Sources worksheet, which is the final assignment in Unit 2 in English 101. This assignment is the culmination of Unit 2, so there were some assignments that you would have been completing before this, primarily the database exploration assignment and the paraphrasing assignment. All of these assignments in Unit 2 involve using Reading 3. Which is an article that you are finding on your own in the databases to respond to Reading 2, R2, which is the article that your instructor has assigned. So this particular semester, that has to do with the topic of remote learning during the pandemic. But if you're watching this video in a future semester, you may have a different topic. Just keep in mind that it's super important that R3 relates to R2 in some way. You don't want to find an R3 that has nothing to do with any of the topics. So make sure that there's a connection, that the two articles relate in some way. And you'll understand why in just a moment as I go over this assignment. You're going to use this template and download it so that you can take a look at what the assignment actually asks you to do. There's only 4 questions, but this is worth 100 points. So it's really important that you take your time and complete this assignment thoroughly. The first thing to do is to use R3, the article that you found, and to copy in the APA reference. Now you may remember from a previous assignment that you had to, you had to do the Exploring EBSCOhost template, and it asked you to copy in the APA reference from EBSCOhost using that Cite button. And then the next box on that assignment asked you to fix some of the formatting errors that happen when you're doing that copy-paste. So if you have done this correctly, you should be able to just copy what you have here and paste it into this assignment box right here. So you shouldn't have to do anything new. You may want to go back to that old assignment and see my feedback. I may have left you notes or comments on what you needed to do. So that's the APA reference. The second part is asking you whether or not Reading 3 passed the CRAP test. The CRAP test, if you'll recall, is currency, relevance, accuracy, authority, and purpose. And again, this should not be news. This was on the Exploring EBSCOhost assignment that you've already completed. You had to use R3 and fill out this table, identifying the currency of the article, whether it was relevant to the topic, what was the authority of the author and source, was the information accurate, or how did we know that it might be accurate? What was the purpose? So what your job is now in this assignment is to kind of give an overview of what you found on the other document. You're going to include 2 to 3 sentences explaining why or why not this should serve as a credible source for your Unit 3 essay. The third question on the worksheet asks you to explain how this article relates to the original reading, R2, which was assigned by your instructor. Does it agree, disagree, clarify, explain, illustrate, introduce, or something else? This is the point at which some of you may find that the article that you found in R3 was not on the right topic. If it doesn't relate, then I want you to say that right here. Just explain that you were misunderstood the assignment, that it doesn't relate, and that you're going to find a new article. I may ask you to go back and redo this assignment after you've found a new article, or at least to do these last couple parts. The fourth block on this worksheet is asking you to explain why you want to use this article for your summary response essay. Explain your reasoning. And this is, again, if you've chosen to find a different article because for some reason throughout this process you've determined that this is not the best article to use, that's fine. You can always just come back, fill this out again with a different article. So you can say right now that you're not going to be using this. Just explain why you're not and that you're going to be looking for something else. Theoretically, you should be able to answer all 4 of these questions relating to your R3, and that reading should relate to R2, and you should be able to explain why it's credible and why you want to use it. But if you can't, I don't want you to panic. Just explain on this worksheet why you're looking for a new article, and then you can go on and do that, and then come back to this and refill it out after you have new information. So I won't hold that against you, and there won't be a point penalty if you have to go, kind of backtrack a little bit at this point. Please let me know if you have any questions about this assignment. It is going to be very important that you've chosen a good article, because you are going to use this all the way through the next unit, which is Unit 3, where we're going to be writing a summary response essay based on Reading 2, and you'll be using Reading 3 in your essay. So it's key that you find an appropriate article. So definitely take your time here at this step and make sure that you get it right before you move any farther forward. Let me know if you have any questions.